Alrighty, version 1.1.13 of Rework Pro is released hopefully by the time you see this video. It's not a very big release and not a lot of features, but one very significant one, which is the reason for this whole release. Normally I would have held on releasing it, but let's take a look at version 1.1.12 that I've worked on during this particular repair. We're going to take a look at two boards. This one obviously suffered CPU drop. It happens, it sucks, but yeah, in that case you could try, mangling those pins and stuff, but it's probably better to replace the socket, and it's worth a shot. So as you can see, everything is going well. On this one, actually, there weren't there weren't very many problems, but you can see that my deltas are closer to 40 degrees throughout the heating cycle. And the reason for that is that I'm no longer able to control my environment. It's AC 72 degrees, so you don't know when the AC kicks in, and it's overall cooler environment. In my previous shop, I kept a temperature of roughly 82 degrees, so we're 10 degrees lower in this shop. So the delta is going to be slightly higher. But I noticed that actually perhaps that even is more beneficial to the process rather than detrimental. I'm not sure why. I'm still kind of wrapping my head around it. But this one released very nicely, as you can see. And also you can see that the solder, it just kind of cools down very quickly if you just leave it on the board. But looks like that actually produces better results. I have no idea why. I'll look into that. But everything is going relatively well on this one. Hopefully this one is going to be a successful repair. And I'm not sure if we'll be able to catch that over here, because I do know that there was a problem, the same problem over here as well. So since I moved everything around, I used the same computer to operate Rework Pro, but I switched the USB port, and I now remember, because I didn't when I did that, one port on that computer, it's a laptop, one port is faulty and it just kind of disconnects. And are we going to be able to catch it here? I'm not sure. No, maybe this one went well. Yeah, this one went well. There are no issues with this one. But this is the one that 3 caps exploded, right? I started the process of recording like midway through, and the camera is a little shaky, but what are you gonna do? And also out of focus. It doesn't matter. The microscopic camera is fine. So we're preheating over here, the process started, and take a look at the power. The power got stuck at 69%, because the cable disconnected, the machine disconnected. So I disconnected the cable, disconnected Rework Pro, and reconnected the cable. And that fixes the problem, obviously, so I didn't need to restart Rework Pro, which is great. But again, over here, again, look how long it took me to notice that the machine disconnected. And obviously I had to, so we lost some temperature over here, right? We lost some heat, and I had to remove the steps that we already went through. So that's relatively a big problem. Obviously you don't leave the machine running by itself. You constantly monitor the process, but if you trust the software and the hardware fails, right, it disconnects for whatever reason, that's a big problem. Yeah, these holes are really difficult to desolder because the board soaks so much heat. But we replaced all 3 exploded caps. The socket seems to be soldered on well, so hopefully this will work. I was going to, offer the customer, if you want to try again, you gotta pay again, right? Because, it's 80% success rate, so you get 20% of a failure rate essentially, right? So if your board falls into that 20% bucket, then if you want, I can try again. Because in this case, it just the cup exploded and moved the socket, right? So I had to use another socket, and the socket is like 20 bucks, right? And I charge 50 bucks for this repair, plus electricity and everything, and solder and wick and everything. I don't make money on it, so it's not like I can just give you a warranty or give you a refund, because there's nothing to give back. So I was thinking, yeah, if you want to try again, I'll try again, but you gotta pay again, or at least pay for another socket, 20 bucks. But the customer is actually a returning customer. I did some ECM work for him, so I figured, okay, let's just redo this one, and hopefully it'll work. So that is just problem number one, machine disconnecting, right? If you have good cabling and everything, it shouldn't be a problem. You probably have never had this problem. I haven't until I swapped the USB port to the wrong one. But it's why wouldn't the machine reconnect is problem number one. And problem number two, this was something that was bothering me for a while. If you disconnect the machine and then close Rework Pro, if you go to the task manager, you can see that Rework Pro is still working. It didn't terminate the foreground threads that were operating on the actual machine. So it basically it's just frozen in the background, and it will never close. I tested that because I was thinking maybe after a while, a few minutes it'll close, but no, I tested 24 hours and it still wouldn't close. So you have to physically terminate the process if you disconnect the machine and then close the program while it's running. So now when you do the same thing, all the background threads are being terminated. All right, so we got version 1.1.13 connected to Rework Pro, no Rework DC. Let's create a simple profile. 0.4 degrees per second to the temperature, let's say 160 degrees. And it doesn't matter how long we're gonna dwell, but let's dwell for 30 seconds. And we don't want to wait for bed. And we have just one step. So let's start the process. The machine started and we're ramping to 160 degrees. The power went up. Very nice. Everything going well. And the temperature is climbing. Right? The red graph is going up. But now we disconnect the machine. And the machine has been disconnected. So we see the power flatlined at 80%, temperature flatlined at 27%. However, since this is an active controller, but a lot of the process is handed over to the machine. So the machine is executing the step that we have over here. However, if the computer never connects to the machine, it's gonna stay on that step forever, because again, Rework Pro is an active controller. It doesn't hand over the process to the machine. It monitors the process. So at this point, in the previous version, you would have to reconnect, stop the process, stop the machine, reconnect, maybe restart Rework Pro, what have you. Now, all you have to do is just reconnect the machine. So let's do that. Machine is reconnected, and now we see the power went down to 0 and the temperature is at 53 degrees. So during that time, the set point was increasing, right, following the 3 or 4 degree holdback that we have essentially hard coded. I think it's 3 degree or 4, it doesn't matter. It's in the safe region, right? So we essentially kind of lost some of that time, but only as far as the graph goes. The actual process continued. So as long as this happens during the step, not during the transition between steps. Because if you disconnect during the transition, then the machine will never transition. Because Rework Pro will think that it commanded the machine to switch the step, but it actually never happened. So let's stop the process. And the other problem that we had was the disconnection, meaning if you disconnect and close the application stays in the background. That was also a pain that that personally I suffered, and I was getting around to it, but it just kind of took a while. In addition, let's connect to the community, and let's go to page 3, and the profile that I use pretty much for any socket replacement is this one. The scroll bar is back, right? Because we lost the scroll bar at some point, and I knew that was a problem, but typically when you have say 5, 6, 7 steps, it doesn't matter, right? But if you have profiles this long, it does. And since I'm using Rework TC, as you can see, temperature stays at 0 until step 13, lucky 13, and only the bed temperature increases, slowly heating up the board from the bottom, which greatly improves warping and all kinds of stuff. Definitely the success ratio went way up when I started doing this. Sure, it's a pain because it takes around 55-58 minutes before you can lift the socket, right? So essentially you turn it on and you have to wait for an hour. That's why I'm glad now I have a dedicated spot for the machine, because before I had to put it on my bench, which means I can't do anything else on the bench because I'm heating up the board. So now it's not a problem since the process is fully automated. You can also select a beep. So if we go to the start over here, right, after 12 steps of preheating the board, you can select beep over here, and once this step is reached, the computer is gonna notify you. So we can just do something else. You don't have to look at the timer, you don't have to set the alarm clocks or anything. Once this step is reached, you know that you have to get back to the machine, because it's only 3 more steps before you're lifting the socket. And then you just keep it warm at 175, no power at the top heater, and then reheating it again, final prep, and then resoldering, and we're done. So that's the step, that's the profile I essentially use for any socket replacement. In some cases I just kind of tweak it. Some boards want a little lower temperatures depending on the sockets and then capacitors and stuff like that. And essentially you kind of see it, how much, if it starts warping at ramp 5 or ramp 7, then you can be sure that this is not going to be a successful replacement, because it's just going to warp too much. So, and by non-successful I mean either it won't post at all, or it's just not going to see one of the banks, or probably 2 of the memory banks, or it won't see memory at all, or it just won't boot, meaning it won't post. All right, that's all I have for you guys in this release. Obviously, there's the version 2.0 is coming, but this is still within version 1.1. 2.0 will feature support for Rework Master, the device that you can build yourself as well. This one's a little mangled because stuff is not actually screwed on to here, but essentially it consists of ESP32 and 3 temperature sensors, and you just connect directly from over here directly to the solid state relays, and you can control the rezones. But that's still going to be a while. Hopefully I won't have to increase the price, or at least not too much, but I expect that it might be 5, maybe $10 higher for version 2.0 as opposed to version 1.1. Version 1.1 is not going to be retired. I'm going to be still issuing fixes and continue development of a version 1.1. So version 2.0 is going to be more of a premium version of Rework Pro, but no worries, no subscription is planned for that version. If you like what you saw over here, you can purchase Rework Pro on eBay or on my website. Thank you guys very much for your support. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next one.